I think you said something really, really important that I try to remind people of. I think it's the illusion that if we commit to whatever form of project management that we commit to, we have this misconception. Oh, if I do this, if I do what Roy says or anybody else says, then I'm going to be successful. And I go, no, you're not.
You will fail. I will guarantee
you will still fail.
Yes.
You don't use a professional method to do something because it's a guarantee for success, but it should hopefully and most definitely increase the probability of success.
Exactly right. In my view, with the things that we're, these things that we encourage people to do is with Agile actually is not going to fix your problems. You've got tons of organizational problems, right? Agile doesn't fix them. But what Agile does do is say, here are your problems. Yeah. These are the things to look at.
Yeah.
And if you don't have those values or that motivation to go fix those problems, you're going to just say, well, Agile's not working for us. Well, of course it's not.
What I love about what you're saying there is also something I would agree with. And it's the bad news and the good news of the project management methodology.
Exactly. Yep.
It's not an autopilot system.
Yep.
It's a process, is a process, and a process doesn't think. What makes the process work is human initiative and human intelligence.
Yes.
So you can have two project managers that are equally trained, and one will be successful with what he or she is doing, and the other will fail. Partly it's the context, partly it's luck, but often it's the understanding. Do I use a dogmatic administrative process and blame the process? Why isn't the process working? Or do I have this, as we say in French, je ne sais quoi, the unknown, the intangible,
right?
The spirit, the soul, the intelligence. They say, listen, I need to put the tool aside and I have to have a real conversation with this person now.
Yeah, I got to talk to someone.
I got to talk to somebody. I got to reach out. I need to work on a different level here. I need to do some team building over here. I need to do this. I need to use the tool in a different context, or maybe I need to mix it up, right? I think that's what a lot of people, and I think that's the true beauty, is that these processes will all not substitute us. They will not replace us. They're meant to augment us. I think that's the positive message.
Put in the context of traditional project management, and I've seen this, I'm sure you've seen this tons of times as well. If you follow the framework, the traditional predictive approaches, you're going to have a chance at success, right?
Yeah.
But imagine you've got a project manager that dutifully creates their risk register, which they go through the whole process, but then never does anything to mitigate those risks.
Yeah.
Great, you follow the process, but how is it any better?
Yeah.
It's not helping you, right?
Yeah. It's just a means to an end.
Yeah.
One of the things we like to ask our guests, are there any books? You've already mentioned one, okay? The 5 Dysfunctions of Leadership. We'll definitely put a picture of that up, put that in the link. Are there any books that you would otherwise recommend to our listeners and viewers?
So I've got some good ones. One that I've reread it a couple of times now. It's called Sooner, Safer, Happier.
Okay.
Really good book. It's relatively new. I think it was released maybe about 2 years ago now. Very good. And it talks about some of the anti-patterns that you see in transformations. It's even calling it a transformation is technically an anti-pattern. And it's really, really good stuff. I
like that term, anti-pattern.
Yeah. So the anti-pattern, for the audience, if you're not familiar with that term, it's doing something that you feel is absolutely the right thing to do when it turns out it's actually the wrong thing to do. Right? That's the concept of an anti-pattern. Agile's filled with anti-patterns.
Okay.
So that's one. I also I like to read a lot of books that aren't just about, Agile and things like that. One of my favorite books is called Eat That Frog.
Oh, I know that one. Yeah.
Great book, right? It's about procrastination. Huge procrastinator. I have to remind myself frequently, so I reread that quite often, just to get myself back into patterns and things like that.
I heard somebody give a very glib but funny definition of procrastination. What do you call it? Procrastination is the assassination of motivation.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's definitely me.
I think we all struggle. No matter how productive you are, there are times when you procrastinate. It's part of the process.
Exactly. So those are my big book recommendations.
Okay. But you've written some yourself, right?
I have. There's a book that I wrote with a friend of mine. So I actually, believe it or not, I actually co-teach the PMP with another person. So I'm not just Agile. I teach the Agile part of the PMP, right?
Yeah.
So I wrote a book on it's called Project Management Bootcamp, right? So that's a good book. I'm actually writing another book right now, and this one's it kind of goes back to what I was talking about with capabilities. I need to find a good title. Don't have a good title for it yet, but it's about capability management, capability planning related to.
We can talk offline. We'll throw some titles on the wall.
I need a better title, because my title right now is strategic capability planning, which stinks,
that's not sexy.
It's not sexy at all. So I need to come up with a better one. But the concept is, not all organizations have products; they have capabilities, and you want to be able to tie that to strategy.
I think I like that, because you mentioned it at the beginning. I think that would be a hot topic to go into greater depth.